The fastest way to improve your nutrition coaching business. Many nutrition coaches want to provide the best possible service for their clients, but they don't always know that they're actually delivering it or if there are opportunities to improve. So in this video, I share how you can gather the right kind of client feedback so you can improve your coaching, you make your clients happier, and they will stay with you for longer, which means ongoing secure income and better results for your clients. Many nutrition coaches struggle with confidence. So on my channel, I share the mindsets and skills needed so nutrition coaches can trust themselves, that they can create amazing results with their clients, allowing them to build a successful nutrition coaching business. And if you want to see more tips just like this, make sure that you subscribe. So you want to provide the best service for your clients, but you don't know if you're actually delivering it. Maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe there are opportunities to improve. Maybe I'm missing something. Are my clients actually happy? Are there maybe expectations that they have that I don't notice? So is there something that I can do to make my clients happier so they stay with me for longer? And there are actually a couple of blind spots that are really normal when you're a human and when you're a coach. For example, you could have some coaching behaviors that lead to resistance, that your clients feel disconnected from you, or maybe they feel like you're not listening. So they have this feeling of, no, because of coach, I'm not doing that. You create, because of your behavior, certain feelings in them that they feel like, no, I don't want to change. I'm actually much more comfortable where I am right now. And that really hinders your clients from reaching their full potential and to create great, amazing results. So that's something that you really want to avoid. There's also maybe some expectations that your clients had that you are not delivering on. Maybe there's something they're unhappy with. Maybe it's a communication part. Maybe they expected some different services. Maybe it's just the way you look at them or how you communicate. So you want to understand, is there something that your clients really don't like about your service and how you can improve it? And then there are always opportunities. Maybe your clients are looking for special services like going to the grocery together or reading labels, or maybe doing some exercises at home. Maybe they want to talk about emotional eating more than something else. So gathering client feedback can be really important to understand, where can I grow? Where can I expand my business to deliver an even better service to my clients? We will talk about how to gather the right kind of client feedback. And we will talk about the 3 important steps to actually get really useful, important feedback. Then the different ways of getting feedback. And then I will share lots and lots of examples and templates that you can use to inspire your own ideas and to actually get started to gather client feedback and to expand and grow your business. Gathering client feedback has huge benefits for your nutrition coaching business. We talked about the opportunity to just improve your service. And improving your service always means you can eventually charge more because you bring more value to your clients. Your clients feel heard. When you listen, when you make actually changes, that shows that you're caring. And this is important for a small business where you maybe have only a couple of clients. So the personal connection is even more important. But also when you're bigger, when you have more and more clients, maybe even employees, when you make sure that your clients feel heard, that when they feel cared about, they have a stronger connection to you because, well, there's somebody who actually cares about me. Then it's satisfaction. If you can make sure that your clients are the most satisfied with your coaching, they don't want to leave because it's so good and they want to talk about it with everyone because they have found this amazing coach who really delivers great service. And that, of course, means they stay for longer and new clients stay for longer. And higher retention means better results, but also that you have a more secure income. It doesn't fluctuate as much. And you build these important long-term relationships with your clients. But there are actually a couple more really great benefits. If you get great feedback, it allows you to attract more clients. Because if you get positive feedback from existing clients, you can share them on your website, you can share them on social media, and you can find a video here in the card and in the description below on 5 easy steps to gather client testimonials. So you can show the world that you can actually deliver what you promise. And another part is you can use client feedback to improve your marketing. So you can get feedback from your clients and from your followers, so you better understand your niche and deliver better content. And if you want to learn more how to use social media to get clients, make sure that you check out the playlist in the card and also in the description below. And the final important part of client feedback is you can make business decisions. So if you understand this kind of feedback is more interesting to your potential clients than this, then you don't have to think about it. You don't waste time on this kind of content. You can focus on that. Maybe your client saying, oh, I would like to do this with you, or can you do this or that? And then you know, oh, this is the direction where I want to go. This is where a need is, and my client's asking me to offer this. So it's not as much trial and error. It's really they're saying you what they want. And if people come to you and say, hey, can you do this for me? Can you offer this service? How much easier is it to actually sell this and actually provide it to your clients? There are 3 key steps to gather client feedback for your nutrition coaching business. First is we have to understand what we actually want to do with the feedback. So the goal is important. What is it that we want to change or improve? That has to be clear from the start. Then, when we know what goal we have, we can decide what is the right technique, what is the right tool to actually reach this goal. So is it a short survey? Is this an in-depth conversation, feedback conversation? Is it maybe a quick poll? It depends on what you want to achieve. And finally, you have to make sure that you are ready to make the decision. So if you ask for feedback and then you are not ready to actually make the change, your clients will feel like, well, nothing changes. The person doesn't care. I'm not important. So you have to make sure that you are ready to make the decision to change something. So the goal first, then decide the technique, and then be ready to actually make the change. Defining the goal. What is your objective? Think about the aspect of the client's journey from maybe getting to know you on social media or in person to the sales conversation, the intake, the weekly check-ins, the check-in form, measurements, to actually finishing the program, reaching the goals, continuing. That's the client journey. And you have to identify on what part do you actually want to improve. Here are a couple of examples. So you could focus on the coaching service. So maybe you want to improve the client intake, make it shorter, make it better, make it more easy. Maybe you want to improve the first coaching conversation, making sure that they feel heard, that they can trust you, that they have a great and exciting time with you, really looking forward to the next steps. Maybe you want to improve your follow-ups, maybe the email that you sent, maybe your follow-up coachings. Maybe you want to improve the weekly check-in form that you send. Maybe it's too long, maybe it's too complicated. Maybe it's something about your communication. You are not easily reachable. You don't know. So think about what specific part you want to improve. Another interesting part is you can understand your client's problems better. So you can ask them, hey, what are really the problems? What is really holding you back? And you already often have this in the conversations where you get the client feedback. So when you better understand their problems and what they need, and what they want, you can improve your coaching. You can make the important decision to move your coaching and your business into these directions. And then often there are missing pieces. Maybe clients see an opportunity to your coaching, something that they would like to see, but you're not offering. So asking questions like, what would you like to add to my coaching service? Can be really helpful to understand where your clients see opportunities to work with you in more ways. But your client feedback can also have a marketing focus. You can ask them, so why did you buy my service? What was it in the sales conversation or maybe on my social media that really convinced you that my nutrition coaching business is the right way or the right kind for you? And you can go the opposite way as well. You can ask them, so why didn't you buy? What did I do that you think I cannot provide the value to you? These can be super powerful, insightful conversation when somebody tells you, well, this, and this was it that really sold me, that really said, oh, this coach understands me and I want to work with them. That is powerful because then if you have this kind of information, you can spread it out. You can multiply it. You can share it on your website, on your social media, when you have conversations. This is the kind of coach that I am. And the kind of clients that you want to work with, they will respond to that. On the other hand, when somebody said, well, I didn't buy from you, and why? They may tell you something like, you didn't listen really well, or you didn't provide a good enough idea of what you're actually doing. I didn't feel like it was the right fit for you. Maybe it's not the right fit, and that's an important insight as well. But you can learn a lot from the feedback from people who are saying, no, I didn't saw the value in your coaching. Then you can ask about your niche. So you can ask something like, where's somebody coming from when they start to follow you? It gives you an idea, oh, they're using certain hashtags, or maybe certain people have shared your account. Maybe somebody mentioned you on social media. And this gives you opportunities to go in these directions and actually understand what is going on. How can I be more present here? And another great way is to understand what is the most helpful content. So when somebody just posts, hey, amazing post, you can follow up with, if you don't mind me asking, what is amazing about this post? What was the most valuable part? And when they tell you, oh, you break this down so easily and you give lots and lots of examples, then you know in your next post you will break it down to specific small steps and give lots and lots of examples. This really is the key and the beautiful thing about client feedback for your nutrition coaching business. It gives you so much ideas, what you can change, what you can improve, what you can do more of, maybe some things you can do less of. When we have the clarity of the goal, we can decide what is the right tool to reach that goal. And there are a couple of different ways to gather client feedback. So you may think about long-form surveys. So you may get a form sent to you or a questionnaire, and you fill it out. Maybe there are some checkboxes and you get comprehensive answers. But the issue is that it's a lot of time investment. So usually you get deeper answers, but from fewer people. So there has to be a balance. Then you can use quick polls. So Instagram, for example, is really a good way to just make a quick poll. Or maybe you have a little pop-up on your website. And even the usual form services like Google Forms or Typeform, you can create a one-click form. The benefit of that is you can get a lot more feedback, but the depth of the feedback is a lot smaller. So long-form surveys are, for example, a great way to understand certain parts of your coaching journey a little bit better. What was the most beneficial or most valuable part of my intake questionnaire or the intake or the first call, and what was the least helpful, or what was actually something that was working against you. On the other hand, quick polls is something like, I'm thinking about this new post, what is the most helpful or the most interesting headline? Or how many of you have kids? So you can then understand, from all my following, 70% of have kids, so creating content on kids or helpful content around kids could be useful for my following. A really in-depth version of feedback is the thinking aloud technique. So this is really where you would maybe get a client and go through the intake questionnaire, and they would verbalize every thought they have while they go through the intake questionnaire. This is really in-depth, but it really teaches you a lot about how somebody who doesn't know your questionnaire thinks about it. What are the thoughts that are going through their head? So you can understand, okay, this is helpful, this is not helpful, this is distracting, what does it actually mean? Can I add a tip or two here? And this is for your questionnaires. You can use it with your website. So send somebody the website and ask them, hey, can you take a quick look here? What do you think? And then they just, this headline, that sounds interesting. What does that actually mean? Do I click here? No, I don't know. And the same thing with content. So maybe you have a client or two you really have a good connection to. So you send them a draft of your content and they quickly walk you through, this headline, that doesn't resonate with you. I'm thinking actually about this and not that when I read this headline. Again, the depth of the feedback is a lot deeper. You get a lot more insight, but from fewer and fewer people. Some additional ways to gather feedback. Something is session feedback that I like a lot, for example. It is often just 1 or 2 questions at the end of a session where you ask, for example, did we talk about the parts that are most important to you? Did you feel heard? Have we been working towards your goal? And this is really helpful to open up a conversation at the end of a session, to always make sure that your client is actually the focus of your coaching. And sometimes when they say, well, I wanted to talk about this, but you went into this direction, you have the opportunity to, right in that moment, correct this, apologize, say, I didn't want to, let's have another conversation and make this right. So this is something that I do at almost every coaching session, where I have maybe 1 or 2 quick questions, asking them how they felt about the coaching session, did they feel heard, did we work towards their goals. So I always make sure that they are the happiest, they feel like they're in control and it's all about them. And I share a couple of these questions at the end, towards the end of the video. Then you can get feedback interviews. This is really, really in-depth, where you ask a lot of questions, maybe about the sales conversations, to understand, okay, what is this part? What is that part? What does that mean? How did it make this you feel? When did you feel like you really wanted to work with you? What was it? Again, this can be in-depth, but then often it's from a couple of people. And another difficulty here is, the more personal you get, the more difficult it is to actually get good feedback. Because at some point people may think, I don't want to hurt him, I don't want to say this. So you really need to understand who you're asking, and that they are comfortable telling you even the more difficult truths about your coaching. But we'll talk about this towards the end of the video and give you a couple of examples. Now for the final part, the decision-making process. So you need to organize and understand the feedback and then take action. Here's one important part that I see many coaches not doing. They get on their social media comments from their clients, they get comments during coaching sessions, but they don't keep track of this unsolicited feedback. And I'm not talking about the "you're stupid" kind of internet feedback. I'm thinking about, hey, your coaching session was really good and I really felt heard, or this really was awesome, I really enjoyed that part. You get this feedback and you think, oh yes, cool, that's nice, but you don't gather it or you don't follow up. So what was it amazing about my content? What was helpful about this session? What did I do differently? So one part to really gather a lot of feedback is to just keep track of the feedback that you already get without asking. If you do that, you already have lots and lots of ideas. But then, here's my 3-step part to actually taking action. I divide all the feedback into common themes. I try to organize things towards common themes and summarize it in my own words. I want to try to understand what people are talking about, maybe about my first part of the intake questionnaire. What was it about this part that they didn't like or did like? Maybe there is something about the actual coaching call that they didn't like or would differently. So I try to find these common themes. Then I write down action-oriented steps. So maybe I see the opportunity to ask a specific question. So I write it down like, add this question to my first coaching call checklist. Or add this part to my summary of the first coaching call. Change this question on my questionnaire. In that moment, while I'm gathering and deciding what to do, what are the common themes, I write action-oriented steps. So it's not like new question, it's this question for this part here. So I already decided what to do and how to do it, and then I can start. And you either can start with the easiest changes. So for example, you maybe can add a key question to your first coaching call checklist, or maybe you make a quick change in your email, maybe in your templates. That often is one quick change and you have improved for the future. And then there are more bigger changes, like actually providing a new service, providing new content, maybe doing something completely different, where you need a little bit more time. But for me, these are the steps, common themes. I understand them in my own words. I write action items that actually tell me what to do, and then I start going through the list and actually implement them. That was a lot of theory. Let's get into some specific examples. For example, Instagram polls are a really great way for a quick poll to understand, for example, your niche a little bit better. Here you can see a question that I recently posted: how nervous do you feel before a first coaching call? And why is that important? I was thinking about a video about the first coaching call, and I want to frame it in a certain way. And I wanted to know, okay, do I want to frame this in a way of, okay, if you listen to this video, you won't feel nervous anymore. Or you can be successful even if you're a little nervous. It really helps me to understand how people feel about content, so I can frame it in a way that, oh yeah, this nervousness, this is something that bothers me, and how can I approach it? And again, if you want to learn how to attract clients on social media, check out the list in the card and also in the description below. Here's another thing that I recently did. You can ask questions in your feed or in your poll. So what I did is I thought about a new video, but I wasn't entirely sure how to best frame it. So I asked this question: so what title is the most clickable? And this really got a lot of responses and a lot of reach. So people were already excited about my new video before I even had the headline. These are examples of these quick polls, how you can understand your clients or your niche or your following a little bit better. You get important, specific information. But notice, the goal was clear. I need a title for my new video. Then I decided, what is the technique that I use? Oh, a quick poll, that's the right thing. I decide on a couple of headlines and then ask them what is the most clickable. And then I actually implement them. So option B was actually the one that most people voted for, and that's the title that I chose for the video. Then you have long form surveys. And here again, you have to strike the balance between the depth and the length. Because you have to understand, people go into these surveys and maybe give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes for the survey. And if you have 20 questions, they will divide 5 minutes over 20 questions. However, if they have 5 minutes and you give them 2 questions, they give each question 2.5 minutes. So when you do these surveys, you really have to find the balance between the right questions for your goals and the number of questions that actually lead to quality answers. And as usual, the fewer the better, but too few are sometimes not helpful enough. And if you want to get an example of a long-form survey that has been working really well for me, you can download this survey that you see here from my coaching session preparation kit. The link is in the description. The coaching session preparation kit gives you all the tools and skills that you need so you feel confident and prepared in your coaching sessions. And that includes, of course, understanding how you can improve your coaching and your coaching sessions. So if you're interested in getting this exact survey for you as an inspiration and maybe to use it today with your clients, you can download it for free from the link in the description. And it also comes with an email template that already says, hey client, do this, I would be super helpful. So you don't have to think about how to phrase asking your clients for the survey either. Everything in the description below for free. Now that we have the technical examples out of the way, the code examples with surveys and polls, we can talk about the in-person feedback. And in-person feedback has different opportunities. Different kinds of in-person feedback can you teach different things. The session feedback is something that I really do with almost every session. It opens the door for conversation and it makes sure that your coaching quality always stays high. It allows the client to voice any concerns, any negative feelings that they may have after the coaching session. So here are a couple of questions that you can ask. Did you feel heard? This is a great question to understand. Is your focus actually on the client? Are you understanding their point of view? Another great question is, did you feel judged? Because if a client feels judged, even if you don't mean it, they lose trust and the relationship weakens. Sometimes they misjudge a facial expression. Maybe you're giving a facial expression that you didn't even know. They notice quick change in your posture and they feel judged. And if you can catch it right at the end of a session, you can apologize, you can make sure that you didn't mean it, and you can do it better the next time. Another question that I often ask is, did we talk about your goals? Because when we go prepared into a coaching session, it's very easy to focus, okay, this is what we are going to do, this is the next steps, yada, yada, yada. But it's in the end always the client's journey. And I want to make sure that what they want, the client's agenda, is always top priority. So asking quickly, hey, did we talk about what is most important to you? Did we talk about your goals? And if not, you have the opportunity right then and there to make it up. In-person feedback also comes with a lot of challenges. One is you need loving critics. In-person feedback can be really difficult for the feedback giver because they may hurt your feelings. They may not feel confident what they're feeling is actually true. Is it okay to say something like this, especially when somebody is a little not shy but not confident? They may feel like, oh, I shouldn't feel like this, it's my fault. So getting honest feedback in person can be really difficult. Another part is receiving feedback is difficult because you have to sit there and somebody may criticize something that you feel good about. They may give you a different perspective, saying, oh, this or that doesn't work for me, I feel bad about it. And you have to make sure that you don't jump in and explain yourself, that you can actually receive the feedback. So if you want to learn more how to overcome these challenges and how to turn maybe an in-session feedback into a longer feedback conversation, even maybe feedback over a couple of sessions where your clients give you feedback over the development of your coaching skills. If that is interesting to you, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Here are a couple more videos that you can check out to improve your coaching, gain confidence, create amazing results with your clients, and in the end, allow yourself to create an amazing nutrition coaching business. Again, thank you so much for watching.